The video was shot by an Italian tourist who is on a boat on the Hudson River. While experimenting with his new camera, he zooms in on a helicopter flying over the river just as a small plane comes up from behind.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
The plane seems to almost explode on impact, with pieces raining down on the river. It's the kind of video investigators from the National Transportation Safety Board have asked the public for.
If they have any that might have captured the aircraft, the sequence or the collision, if that could be provided, that would be very helpful.
An early theory is that the chopper was in the plane's blind spot below its wings. Now, slowed down frame by frame, the images seem to show the single-engine Piper turning and climbing, then clipping the helicopter's rotor blades. Immediately, the plane's right wing is sheared off. The plane flips over as both the plane and the chopper nosedive into the river below. Former NTSB investigator Greg Fife.
The key here is that whatever took place in the cockpit of that Piper aircraft was enough to distract the pilot and not allow him to see the helicopter as he intercepted its flight path.
The video also captures the aftermath as boats race to the area where both went down, only to find a few pieces of debris floating in the water. Earlier today in Italy, the coffins of the 5 Italian tourists who died in the crash returned home for burial, greeted by family, friends, and flowers. Now investigators will closely examine this new tape to determine exactly how the plane and helicopter crashed, their altitude and position in relation to each other, and how on a beautiful blue sky day with thousands of people watching, 2 experienced pilots could have had a fatal encounter. This incident has raised concerns about the safety of the Hudson River Air Corridor, a 3-mile stretch of airspace in which pilots fly without air traffic control if they're under 1,100 feet. The NTSB and the FAA have both said they intend to look at whether more restrictions are necessary. Ann.
And so then how long will this investigation take before we find out, in fact, whether they will issue new guidelines, Tom?
Typically a year to 18 months for the investigation, but the FAA under the Obama administration has already taken action on issues before the NTSB has made any recommendations. So the aviation world will be watching very closely whether it takes action on the Hudson airspace.